Make sure you take plenty of shots of Triple G while you're in the house. I'll be ready.
Here
we go.
I mean, he's fighting heavy hitter Cal.
Smirnoff.
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, dirty, so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you believe me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just that I hate that. I'm scared of it.
It would be awesome to, see being a great war. Maybe with a Mexican. I have to put the joke.
No. Hey, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it. Good timing.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. LongLiveBoxing EnVivo podcast. Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper. Breaking it down like it is. Like it
should
be.
brother.
Episode.
Yeah.
Oh, episode
69.
6 and 9. Up and down.
Giggity.
Ah, not that.
Get your mind out the gutter, gentlemen.
Too
Keep it
late.
classy.
Be classy.
It's a family show.
Says the guy who's giggling over here.
Oh, man. I'm just an idiot. That's what I do.
No, you're
Woo!
not. Giggity. Yeah, we got boxing in the house. We got someone very special to be talking about today, guys.
Yes.
Hopper, you seem to be pretty happy about that. You got your
You could tell.
stuff going
A
on
little
over here.
bit.
I see
Smiling,
that. I see that
cheesing.
flag right behind you. You're smiling. You're like the podcast number 69.
69.
Giggity.
That guy's feeling pretty good.
giggling.
Whoa.
It's you think it's because I got an early Christmas present this year?
Is it
2020.
official? Is it official?
Finally brought some kind of good news
Is it
this year.
official
It's
for you?
official.
Yeah, you
I saw
there?
it. I saw it on his Instagram live feed because yes, I was watching, and yes, I was asking questions. Yes, I invited him on the show, but I didn't get a response. So I'll keep trying. I'm talking about Saul Canelo Alvarez.
In the house, baby.
Sometime he will be in the house.
It will
but,
be.
No,
We'll stand
okay.
by. We will.
All
We'll
right.
have him.
Eventually, hopefully.
In our minds.
He's fighting Callum Smith
Callum.
the Callum Smith, baby.
December 19th.
So no more Caleb Plant.
Eddie Hearn came out earlier and said it was more likely going to be in San Antonio.
Right, because of conflicting. Well, there's a conflict of interest of a game.
The mighty Dallas Cowboys play on the
Mighty
20th
Cowboys.
here.
They are mighty.
They are mighty.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Mighty disappointing this year.
Let's
but
not talk about.
yeah,
Cowboys,
I had to bring the
right?
show down, didn't I?
Yeah,
Completely.
you sure did.
Mm.
We'll keep going though.
But anyways, back to Canelo.
At least Cowboys better than the Triple G.
Oh, that Triple G guy.
Oh,
Who's he
God,
fighting?
I don't know.
Somebody
Kamir.
who can
Gringo
Kamir.
Gringo should know. Gringo.
Smirnoff is a
The great
delicious
Kamir.
vodka.
Are you still following?
You notice how he escapes all the trash talk? Like people just ignore Triple G, but if there was Canelo fighting somebody like that,
Yeah.
oh, he'd get killed.
Yeah.
But luckily, he's fighting Callum Smith.
Callum Smith.
And we definitely want to talk about Mr. Callum Smith because what I see is a tale of two Callums, basically.
I love that.
There's the Callum Smith that was building up momentum. He won the 2018 World Boxing Super Series in the super middleweight division.
By beating one of my favorite fighters, by the way.
George Groves.
George Groves.
Easily, I know that you're big on Luke Campbell, but to me, it begins and ends with George Groves. I was huge on
very
him.
accomplished.
I hate that he lost to Froch twice.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that last one, the second
Come
one.
on, man. With his knee bent back.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
80,000 people
Shout out to the
watching,
UK. Love you guys. But, yeah, so I digress. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm very familiar with, what Caleb Smith brings. But I love how you present the fact of the two halves. Kind of enlighten us a little bit more on that. What do you mean exactly? Is it two good halves, a good half and a better half?
Well, and here's what I was leading into. After he had the 2018, after he won the Super Series, he won the WBA champion. He won the Ring Magazine champion. He was the cream of the crop at 168 division. until he ran into a Mr. John Ryder. And that's why I bring up a tale of two Callums, because the Callum Smith from 2018, even going into 2019, was considered the goods at 168-pound divisions. Just because of his sheer size. He's 6'3". He's a big boy.
78-inch reach?
78-inch reach, 6'3". He's
orthodox.
And then you compare him to, the fans will see, when Canelo stands next to him, you're going to notice the massive difference in height. And that's obviously, that's the first thing that stands out is his height. But he's also he's got power in both hands. As he showed in the George Grove fight, he's a fantastic counter right puncher, and that seems to be his bread and butter punch, is the counter right punch. But don't make no mistake about it, he has power in his left hand as well, and that's what damaged Groves in the 2018 WBS's final, was the counter left hook.
Yeah,
knock him out 7th round.
So if Canelo needs to be careful, because those punches that land from Callum Smith carry a lot of power in that 6'3" frame. And he's tall, and the fact that another little sneaky thing that he does is he subtly changes levels. Like, he changes his stance. He'll come out lower in the early rounds, and then he'll heighten up. He'll fight taller, like in the middle rounds, just to change the angles,
right.
the target point. So that's a very sneaky, subtle thing that I've noticed that he does. He's most effective when he's at long range.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course, that jab.
George Groves fight, that's when he was excelling. And
kind of touching on something you said, and I think that's an interesting point. Do you see that as a positive, though? The fact that he kind of changes his levels as far as, I want to say, not utilizing his height throughout the fight and kind of changing it. I mean, obviously, it got him to where he is, but as far as from your standpoint, being 6'3", I never felt that he fought big. I feel that he's never overwhelmed opponents, that he,
I think it's just part of the game plan that maybe him and his trainer Joe Gallagher, they come up with, just to change the flow of the fight, change the other guy's target.
No, it's definitely
not make it easier.
Definitely different.
So, but yeah, maybe it can backfire on him at times. But he's more effective long range. He's not very effective fighting on the inside, and that's what leads into the John Ryder fight. Because there was quite a few things that I noticed in that John Ryder fight that kind of similarities to what Canelo does. And if John Ryder was giving him fits, then Callum Smith might be in a world of hurt, because some of the stuff that John Ryder was doing, like the head movement, the feints. Well, that's Canelo excels in those.
Definitely the feint.
Yeah.
And the head movement. So that was giving Callum fits, and he wasn't able to figure out John Ryder. And if John was able to give him some fits, you can imagine Canelo's head movement and defense is going to be something that he's never seen. So,
Canelo can take a punch.
Yeah, he can definitely take a punch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and another drawback from Callum Smith is that he's kind of flat-footed, not the most athletic guy.
Yeah, I would say athleticism doesn't come to mind when I watch him fight.
No, definitely not. So his inside game is not going to be up to par. He should probably try to avoid fighting on the inside with Canelo, because Canelo's a fantastic inside fighter, and he does leave his body open a little bit, Callum Smith, because he is kind of tall, 6'3", so that left side of his, Canelo's right, it's going to be open. It's going to be open for Canelo all night.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where I lean.
That's where I lean too, because he's going to always try to come forward, and he's going to try to space him with a jab. But the movements that you mentioned, Canelo has, is going to always bring up for that left hook, right hook. Even to the body. I just see a lot of body punches.
Yeah, I see him taking a lot of shots
to the body, and that's where
I think that's where
break it down.
It's going to really be to his disadvantage and to his demise potentially in the fight. That honestly, when I see it, and I know that UK fans, you guys are so passionate and dedicated, and are gonna be like, why aren't you guys giving Callum Smith more love? Trust me,
no, we are.
I mean, we have a great respect for him. He's the Ring magazine and the WBO WBO champion, I believe.
No, WBA.
No, he's the WBA and the ring.
Magazine.
WBA and the ring
WBA
magazine.
Right, right.
champion. So
And the Muhammad Ali
yeah,
trophy
winner.
winner.
He's an undefeated champion.
The only thing we want-
had some great fights at be able to establish himself as elite candidate.
winning that tournament.
We kind of sensed it. I mean, if you think about most of the other champions in that division, for me, and I know there were a lot of talks about Caleb Plant in the mix, and even Berlanga and some of the other. Benavidez. Sorry.
Whoa,
So-
Bert, you want to get Berlanga?
No, not
with Canelo already?
It's a
I was like,
PB. No, not yet. No.
Whoa.
Benavidez
Might be a little too
but I
soon.
think it does really make sense right now, and just taking on someone that it's not, you don't have a completely advantage to it, but still you have the slight edge. What I wanted to ask you, Hopper, is all of a sudden, and this is what's kind of confusing, not only for me, but I'm sure for a lot of casual fans. So we learned about the separation between Golden Boy, DAZN, and Canelo, free agent. Now he's on his own, but he's back fighting on DAZN.
Back on the zone. And that's what we don't have the inside track, but all we can do is speculate. I think that was if you put one and one together, I think that was Canelo's ulterior motive, was to get out of his contract from Golden Boy. And he used the law case as leverage against Oscar. And it worked out perfect for him, because the fact that the litigation didn't keep him on the shelf for, as we've seen with the other boxers, Mikey Garcia and Andre Ward, to name a few, they were tied up in litigation for years. It seemed 2-3 years. They lost years of their prime, and Canelo lost nothing. A few months. Not even because of the pandemic shutting everything down. And that was, that's...
Well, immediately that
what legal team
got
did he
released.
have?
Immediately he's got
The
a
one that
big
we
fight.
want.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got a big fight coming out.
He's coming back to the zone.
It ends that whole conversation about Canelo was ducking people. He doesn't want to fight. He just want to be jumping up and down, just fighting washed out boxers. And I mean, that's never, at least in our minds, that's never been the case.
You become a free agent to fight. 100 to fight CALLUM Smith.
Yeah, and I think
contract.
I think that he's definitely at the point where he should have been a free agent a long time.
He doesn't need a promoter.
I mean, why not?
He doesn't need a promoter. I mean, the promoter
He's
needed
as
him.
big as
And that's not
Mayweather in terms
knock
of
on
presence and being a star. And they can manage themselves. They can have their own careers and make their own brands and their names.
And one thing that I also say too is I think that it made it quite clear on how this worked out that his issue was with Golden Boy, not necessarily DAZN per se. It worked out where he's going to be able to work with DAZN and get the fights out there with whomever he wants.
Which I'm glad.
He was trying to fight Caleb Plant. That would have been a fantastic matchup as well. But per reports, per ESPN stated that the PBC wanted Canelo to take it as a 2-fight deal to fight Anthony Durrell first, which
that doesn't make sense to be able to go that route.
Does nothing. You become a free agent to go fight Durrell. He would have been killed. I would have ripped him. Even if eventually it would have led you to Caleb Plant.
Right.
No interest
in so I mean, a couple things jump out at me.
So for them, it was like a tune-up, trying to encourage them to get him in a tune-up.
Who wants to see Canelo on Durrell?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anthony
Durrell.
I don't even think Durrell wants to see.
Yeah. The weird thing about that for me, as far as the PBC in respect to them, they're not really pushing Anthony Durrell anyway. So for them to bring that up, and I mean, if it was reported by ESPN, that's what it was. But I just think it's kind of a strange thing, like the opportunity finally presented itself to finally get the big fish you've been wanting and positioning yourself for a while, and then here we go, present our best case, and man, that was disappointing. I mean, to me,
but I mean, we got a great backup with CALLUM Smith.
Definitely.
It's going to be a test for Canelo for sure. It's not going to be a walk in the park. This guy, if he's not careful, because he's going to outsize Canelo easily. So the intrigue is there.
So talking about the intrigue, and I'm glad you mentioned that, my brother Hopper. Do you see this being just another? And maybe I'm overstating because this is fresh off the mind because I recently saw this fight. Is this a 2.0 of the Kovalev fight? But I would say that Caleb Smith is maybe even a little slower
than Kovalev.
Yeah,
I would say.
And less of a power
that's pretty
threat.
fair. That's
and a
pretty
power
fair.
Threat.
And less powerful. Yeah, that's pretty fair. But you guys keep in mind, Kovalev was kind of winning that fight against Canelo, in my eyes. So I don't.
I'm saying it's not a knock.
No, it's not a knock. So they're about. Yeah, he will be. I guess the Kovalev fight helped Canelo in a ways to get ready for somebody because CALLUM is not as big as Kovalev. So that's. I think Canelo. And my prediction, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it out there, guys. I'm thinking Canelo's gonna end up probably stopping him in the later rounds due to the accumulation of body punches that he's gonna leave himself open.
Kovalev.
Kind of like Kovalev, yeah,
Yep.
leaving him open, and that's what I'm thinking Canelo's gonna do, and hopefully this leads the opportunity to fight some of the guys that we want to see on the PBC side. If they would quit with their 2-fight whack deals, trying to fight Darrell, or because they have a great stable Caleb Plan, David Benavidez, Jermall Charlo. Any one of those fights would be fantastic against Canelo.
Yeah. I mean that's what I said. Like if they're going to put together a 2 or a 4-fight deal, I think, and that's another thing I've been hearing. I like to hear my brother's thoughts. Hopper and Manny, what you guys think. I was hearing that they were saying, per Canelo's people, they're gonna, even though he's the champion in 160 and 168. The reason why he's keeping 160 open is for that 3rd fight with Triple G, which surprised me.
Triple G,
right?
He's too busy fighting world class, world beater, Kazil Kisma.
He's a beater, all right. Yeah. Egg beater.
Say the name.
I don't. I'm trying to pronounce his name. I don't even.
So they're trying to give him.
It's gonna be on the zone, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually,
sure
gonna be
tune-up. I mean, don't be surprised that
the Friday before
Triple G may even, lose the fight. Who knows?
Anything's possible with Triple G. Dreams come true.
And then
come on, Gringo, I gotta say, I love Triple G. We just love giving you a hard time, but
no, it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm a realist, especially when it comes to the people that I'm fans of, and I'm a fan of what he did. But as far as my fandom, it ended like 2018. But I still.
Are you sure? I couldn't tell.
Or there's still hopes.
No, I mean there's hopes for everything. There's hopes for peace on earth, but I know it's not going to happen. So, but yeah, as far as this fight goes, as far as Canelo, I am excited for the fact that he's a free agent. I do like the fact they're saying that 168 is going to be his new playground, so to speak, as far as the division he'll be in. So many possibilities there. Yeah, Caleb Smith is a champion, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely going to be a test, and he may bring something to the table that we might not even be aware of.
And plus, he's looking for the family revenge to avenge his brother's honor. Canelo stopped his brother Beefy. Actually, here at Cowboy Stadium.
That was a good fight.
That was a great fight, and Canelo stopped him with a body punch.
Yep. Same thing's gonna happen.
Same thing's gonna happen to his brother, and that's what I'm thinking. And yes, we're gonna try to be there. Well, I know I will. Lord willing, I'm gonna try to go there.
Yeah, the last story I was saying is it looks like he'll probably be in San Antonio.
Like I'm headed back to San Antonio, baby.
San Antonio's calling my brother again. So that's gonna be definitely awesome.
Yeah.
No escalator for him. No need.
Crap.
Not at all.
I feel the same. I think Canelo is right now is we're glad to see him back, and we were glad to see him back in a world title contender. Unification. He's still the super champ, but Smith is a regular champion in Ring Magazine, and that will be something very interesting. But I wanted to end early, and the reason why being is I can't wait to see Canelo back again in action. Cinco de Mayo. That's
gonna be exciting.
That's
too.
If he's able to do that right now, I think he's got another quick fight next year. So I can't wait. That weekend's always been very special. Seeing a lot of different boxers.
It's around my birthday too.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's around my birthday.
That's your holiday month, isn't it?
That's your
for the
holiday
family.
It's my holiday month. Oh yeah, it's anniversary, birthdays everywhere. So,
but I think Canelo is ready to action, and just by looking at him and his game face, and it's going to be pretty scary. I think it's going to really stop him a little bit early. I would say 6th round for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that out of respect to Caleb Smith, he's going to put on his best performance. I think, like,
no doubt,
similar to like his brother did, he's going to bring something to the table that we maybe aren't anticipating. And you can't teach 6'3". He is a big guy, and he has he's a world-class fighter. I mean, he hasn't always shown it lately, and I think that Hopper brought up a good point, that John Ryder. But I think you'll see a little bit of throwback of what he did when he earned the the World Association Super Middleweight title, you know, when he was really kind of more at his peak. You know, this is his chance to shine too. I mean, you know, the UK gets behind their fighters, and he's going to be primed and ready. So I'm saying it's going to be eighth round stoppage. I can't see it going to the distance. I think this accumulation of punches. I think because the way that, you know, Callum Smith leaves himself so open, and the way that
wide open.
it really seems like he's going to work right into the hands of Canelo, and that he's not going to really have any answer for the inside game. That's the thing that has me.
I think the first 2 rounds is going to be studying, right? You know, he's going to be leading with the jab, trying not to allow him to get close to him.
He'll keep his distance.
But I think eventually he's not going to be able to run the ring entirely. I mean, Canelo's going to catch it on him. And the way that Canelo cuts the corner, cuts the ring around, and he's always
when he turns it on.
Yeah, when he turns it on, he turns it on. So my question,
eighth round body shot. No. But you got the floor. 8th round body shot. It's gonna be Canelo, and you know, props to the cash cow. Props to the king.
Should there be any concern, Hopper, in terms of, you know, Canelo coming down? You know, he fought 175 last time, and now he's coming out. Of course, it was a year ago. It was a year ago. Is that something that should be a slight concern?
Oh, definitely. It's always a concern. Once you balloon up and come down, it's always a concern. But I think the fact that it's been over a year, I think he's got more. He's accustomed back to his normal weight, or the weight that he wants to try to fight at 168. Because I remember Eddie Reynoso mentioned that 160 is a little too. It's kind of difficult for them to do now. So I think he's going to campaign at 168 for the time being. So I'm thinking he's going to probably end his career at 168. I can't see him going back up to 175. He's too small.
Yeah,
unless he's feeling brave, like, but he's a small 175.
Plus,
fighter.
you mentioned it. I think you said it right. You know,
he's a small 168 fighter.
Yep, exactly. And they got the best stable in Eddie Reynoso. It's on a roll, man. I mean, it's on fire. You know, the energy. I can feel that energy, and I'm not even in that gym. You know, just by just hearing some of the guys that are in there and the motivation, and so I'm just excited to see this stuff back. I hope that doesn't cancel for whatever reason. Thank you, Texas. Thank you, Governor, for always
keeping
protecting us, keeping it open, but
keeping all these boxing fights here, bringing them all here, but staying open. There's some other fights too going on too, right? Puerto Rican fights.
Yeah. Puerto Rico, it's back. In Puerto Rico, they're gonna start now having some fights, and it's gonna be Miguel Cotto Promotions, A2 Entertainment, also Golden Boy Promotions through DirecTV. We're going to see boxing nights. Dalinito Zorrilla will be leading the pack. It's still a TBA. For those of you who don't know Dalinito Zorrilla, he's 13-0, 11 knockouts. A great prospect.
You've been talking about him for a while.
This is December 5th. Yeah, and he's at the junior the super lightweight, so the 130. So that's going to be a pretty good exciting. But I'm also I do want to be able to catch this fight. I don't think I'll go. And actually, as a matter of fact, the date, December 5th, that's when I had the ticket. I was supposed to go to Puerto Rico. But who I'm really excited to watch is Oscar Pupilo Collazo. This is a really nice kid.
That I haven't heard before.
Yeah. No, I talked to him about before.
He
signed Oscar Pupilo Collazo. He won the 2019 Pan American Games, came gold. And Miguel Cotto just really, signed him up. And so he did his pro debut. I think it was February, and he did great. It was a 3rd round knockout. Of course, the opponent was just someone that it wasn't that a big a deal.
Yeah,
but
I mean, one thing that I'll say, and I see you got a rhythm when you're talking about these exciting young fighters coming up that I'm excited for, and that we kind of touched on. Yeah, we gave you a hard time busting your balls about the Puerto Rican fight game, but I mean, now I literally have to stop and think. If we were to do a show, shout out to Cano and Brandon. We love you guys.
Cano, saludo,
shout out, Brandon.
But if we had to rank the Puerto Rican prospect, I mean, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah,
not in one day.
And they weren't kidding. I think Sander also kind of led us to a lot of this stuff, and they weren't
shout
kidding.
Out to him.
Sander, we love you, papi.
Need to do it again.
They weren't kidding. When he was saying we got someone in every division, and now we start seeing the fruit of that.
The wave is coming.
The wave is coming. So that's pretty excited, but. The biggest wave that I'm really extremely excited about this, and Sean, I know you and I had plenty of conversations about this individual, very highly praised in Puerto Rico, apparently the next super champion, when Tino Trinidad came out and said his speech at the, Boxing Hall of Fame day, and, that's Felix Verdejo. Right now, it seems like he's he's proving people right. And you know, I know
he's
that
in a hot division.
He's a very hot division. He actually, you know, left everything in the past. Hired Ismael Salas, came back.
Great move.
Great move.
You can see his boxing skills.
I need to hire them.
Right, and then he knocks out Will Madera, an undefeated boxer, and now he's the talk of boxing in the lightweight. Although it is a very heavy division, we talked about that. But I wanted to ask you, Sean. I mean, based on what you've seen and all the stuff we know about Verdjo, we know that the talent is there. Is that enough right now? Will Nakatani fight? And by the way, guys, Nakatani was the only boxer that actually has made it to the distance with Teofimo Lopez. Very difficult fighter.
Very.
He made Teofimo look bad in that fight.
Yeah,
exactly.
In fact, after that fight, Teofimo Lopez said one of the weirdest statements ever, like, yeah, don't worry, you know, I'm not going to fight anybody that tall again.
Tall
exactly.
What? Okay.
Hey, sometimes fighters say
sometimes we know when the fight's over, you just say some shit.
I know, right? Yeah. But you know, I think right now we talked about in the past that I think for Verdjo to prove himself that he belongs in for a shot of a world title in the lightweights, he needs to fight for a champion.
Yeah,
and so we talked about maybe possible Richard Comey. We even kind of browsed a little bit of Nakatani, and it's done, guys. Nakatani, beating Nakatani. Is Verdjo really legit?
It's a legit.
Considering, I mean, we got Haney, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia.
No, he's going to throw himself in there. He's going to throw his name in the mix.
I mean,
there's going to be a fifth.
Yeah, so I think just to put it out there for the sake of time, like, yeah, the fact that he's in this fight, he's in a contender because to me it's an eliminator, right?
Right.
Yep. So, yeah, Nakatani is a respectable
Devin
fighter.
Haney's going to take another backseat to somebody.
Yeah. Right, to somebody else. So I'll go ahead and say it. You know, I'm going to be pulling for him.
Say it, gringo.
It's not going to be an easy fight, but I do see Felix Verdjo coming out with the decision. I mean, I think that he's in a good position. He's definitely coming along at the right time. He has the right team in his corner, and I think that he's ascending, not descending. And I think that he's going to catch Nakatani at a good time, and I could see him coming out with a victory, maybe get a knockdown during the fight. But it's going to be very, 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 very close because Nakatani is smart and he knows how to disrupt and use his height to his advantage.
Yeah.
And you know, he's not going to be an easy opponent. And yeah, I mean, after that, then we'll just have to assess on how his performance was. But is he a contender? Absolutely. You know, and I think he has a great chance to win.
So unanimous decision.
Yeah, unanimous decision, but it's going to be close.
Hopper, you mentioned that Teofimo had a hard time against Nakatani, and he got punched pretty hard, right? And what do you see? How do you see this fight?
Well, I think Verdjo's gonna shine. El diamante va a estar brillando. I think he looked serious in his last fight. He looked motivated, and maybe that's just the rough patch he had early in his career. Hopefully it's over, and I think it is. You can always see it in a fighter's.
Well, first of all, the move that he did to move away, and honestly, those of you that know that are not from the U.S. or even though we're U.S., but you live outside, right, in an island, it's very difficult to part ways, especially if you were there for your entire life. And he did it. He went to Vegas.
He took off, and he's taking it serious. And that's for those very reasons. I'm thinking Verdjo. I don't think it's gonna stop him. I think it's gonna go unanimous decision. Verdjo 12 rounds. Nakatani, like we said, he's a tough opponent. He went with Teofimo Lopez, gave him fits, gave him hell. So, but I still see Verdjo pulling out the unanimous decision early on. Just too much speed, too much laser focus that he has right now. I think he's gonna handily defeat Nakatani.
Oh, so you don't even think? Okay, wow.
No, I don't think.
You don't think a stoppage?
No, I think Verdjo. No, I don't see a stoppage coming anytime.
No.
In that fight.
I mean, I agree. I'd love to see a stoppage. Of course, big fan. But
always.
No, I'm not gonna. I need to be realistic. A couple of things. I know the opponent. He's very tough, and not only that, we need to really see Verdjo in the long distance. If he's able to, his punches needs to be a little bit more accurate. And when Verdjo goes after the 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, he throws a lot of bullets, but they don't land. And so we haven't seen that yet. So I want him to go a little bit more at the distance. I would say split decision. Split decision. I just hope that he doesn't get careless, or sometimes he just runs away. Gets away from his game plan, and it starts doing some things, and he's gonna get caught up. So
yeah, see,
I don't see him as I don't see Verdjo losing for as a knockout or anything like that, because I think he's gonna really, he learned, he really learned.
He definitely learned.
But I think that he needs to really, I need to see him, in the championship rounds to see if he's actually still.
Yeah, I mean, for all the excitement we had when we saw him last time, I think it's going to be tenfold. I mean, this is a real fight. Nakatani is a real fighter. He poses a real threat, and he's going to, bring his A game.
Excited to see it.
Yeah, excited to see it. Can't wait. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see also, before we go, December 19, we have for the vacant WBC bantamweight title, Mohegan Sun Casino, Montville, Connecticut. We're going to see Emmanuel Manny Rodriguez fighting against Nonito Donaire. So this is another opportunity we got there to have another Puerto Rican become world champion.
Rodriguez is lost to
the Monster, and so it's going to be a pretty good one. But also in the Verdjo fight, we got Edgar Berlanga, TBA. I know we had some discussions about that, but we don't know who it's going to be. But I think it's probably going to be a first-round knockout. 16-0, 16 perfection. And lastly, happy anniversary. 18 years ago, Hector Macho Camacho defeated his own countryman, Rafael Solis. That is actually the second time it happened in Hiram B. Thorne in Puerto Rico, so it's good stuff to celebrate and to remember back again. This was 1981. Barely was 7 years old, and so this is good stuff. Just brought it to my memory.
No, that's great. I can see it definitely got you excited.
Yep.
How do you feel about I know we're about to close right here. Is 2021 going to be the year of Puerto Rico hits for real?
I think so too. Honestly, I think Berlanga is ready for someone out there. I think he's ready right now to fight any of these top guys right now in the division. Probably maybe one more fight.
David Lemieux. Popper called it.
Yep, exactly.
That's the fight, I'm telling you.
I want to see him either that, or even I want to see him, hey, what about some former champion, Daniel Jacobs? That will be someone too that that will be able to be interested to as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
stay tuned.
We'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, episode 69. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Giri.
Fuera.
Hasta luego.